This is Open Word News here on 710 News Talk Radio. This is RGV El Guy flying solo today. We have the pamphleteer out on vacation, enjoying his anniversary. For all of you guys out there who want to hit him up on the Facebook and the Twitter and wish him well, you feel free to go ahead and do so. Today, we have the pleasure of having one of our local officials, the Honorable Judge Garcia. How you doing? How you doing, Your Honor?
Doing well. Thank you very much for having me here this morning.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us. We wanted to reach out to you. We've had, we've had a congressional hearing, to say the least, recently here in the Rio Grande Valley. Where do you see things going in the next 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months to a year?
I feel like we are going to get some assistance of some kind of reimbursement. That was the indication that was given to me by 3 congressmen, both from both parties, which I was glad to hear that they're thinking about that request in a positive manner. They requested we reimburse for whatever we're expending right now to the humanitarian aid. As far as getting anything done, I don't see anything happening short of November. I mean, there's too much political posturing from both sides. Every other word coming, there was every other phrase, every other sentence was related to political posturing. They were blaming Republicans, blame Democrats, and Democrats blame Republicans. And then when they got that posturing out of the way and their political points, then they started talking about the issue. And I was concerned that they were confusing the issue. They were talking about the cure-all being a securing of the border. Well, we were there to address the issue of the influx of families and children and families from Central America coming in the tens of thousands as they're coming in now. And these people are, you don't need to militarize the border to apprehend them. You don't need to do anything other than just wait on the U.S. side. They're coming on their own. When they cross over, they're not running away from any agent.
Yeah, they're just turning themselves in pretty much.
They're actively looking for an agent to turn themselves in. So I don't see what they're trying to accomplish by militarizing it on that issue.
Actually, you're absolutely right. I know that most of the Border Patrol agents I've spoken with have pretty much said that folks are just turning themselves in. Subsequently, though, they have reported that when they have these large groups of people turning themselves in, that they have caught on to the left side or to the right side of the situation where they have this influx of people coming in at the same time. They have reported catching folks with large amounts of drugs, and some folks actually taking money back across. I guess that was one of the things that Rick Perry was trying to get funding for.
That effort, yes. There's obviously a gap that has been created because the agents have been taken away from their normal duties of law enforcement, which include not just apprehension of undocumented individuals, but also enforcement of our federal criminal laws related to drugs. Because of that gap, I think it's important that the state do what Governor Perry is suggesting, not the securing of the border part, but the helping out by sending, I don't remember how many millions he said that they were sending.
I think it was 500 million he was trying to re-seek out.
Right, towards getting DPS officers on the ground here on the valley, on the border, so that they could fill in the gaps being left by the Border Patrol.
Your Honor, we had recently we had the privilege of interviewing Eddie Guerra, current interim sheriff here for Hidalgo County, and we had addressed him with a question that we had proposed to the McAllen, at the folks at the McAllen chamber when they had the meeting there in the city of McAllen, and a lot of folks have been concerned about what we have been doing proactively to send declarations out to these countries in Central and South America. And after some review, some legal whatnot, we have that declaration ready to go. And actually, Eddie Guerra said he would sign the declaration explaining to folks in the country in other countries that they should not come to this country. That, that they should understand this is felonious and that they are not welcome to come here because it's an illegal act. Is that something that yourself and other folks from your from the county commission would be willing to endorse?
Oh, I don't think there's any question that whatever law is in place right now, we're going to be actively doing what we can to let people know that they should not violate the law.
That's great,
and that's really the issue.
So,
but right now, the present law allows there were about 30% of the ones that are coming in the manner that we've described and talked about. They do, in fact, qualify for asylum. They do have the right to gain legal status to be in the country. That about 30% is the estimate that they were talking about.
Yes.
So that what all that means is we've also got to comply with the law requiring that we provide them with due process hearings, and in order to do that, in order to send a message, for it to be a deterrent, we've got to act a lot quicker than 2 years down the road.
That's very true. Expediting that process would make such a difference, Your Honor. So you're saying that you would sign that declaration yourself then? Oh,
I think I haven't. Every time that we have met, every elected official that has voiced their opinion that I have heard, and I have also stated, is that we would actively want to let the people know in Central America that we have laws that do not allow this, and that the laws are being enforced, perhaps not as rapidly as we would like to see them enforced, but this is not going to gain them a foothold towards legal citizenship status.
Well, I appreciate your time, Your Honor. So you're saying if I can send this down to your office, to your secretary, you'll personally sign this as well so we can attach it with Eddie Guerras and some of the other officials?
Right, if you word it the way that I just stated.
Great. Then we'll go ahead and we'll send that down to your office. We do appreciate you talking with us. We have one last question for you, Your Honor. We actually went over through this, and we realized that, and you're listening to openwordnews.com here on 710 KURV, folks. We realized that with funding coming in to help out with this situation, ultimately one thing that we've realized is that funding will continue after the fact, as with many programs that we've had over the course of the last 30, 40 years. One of the theories that has been proposed is that over the course of the next 15 to 20 years, if we continue to take in an influx of people and eventually we acquire a percentage of these countries, of Guatemala, of Costa Rica, 5% of their population living here in the United States, 10% of their population, do you feel that this will become a UN issue, where eventually we'll be asking for funds from other countries, and the UN will step in and eventually try to form a North American Union?
I don't see. Well, let me just say that I think we need to look at this. To just sit back and look at the more specific issue we're talking about. Make that issue clearer. And let's just deal with it at this stage. I don't see. I think you're reading. Well,
I appreciate your time.
I don't want to get beyond what we're dealing with now, with the realities of today, not what could happen in the 5, 10, 15 years from now.
No problem, Your Honor. We do appreciate your time here on OpenWordNews.com. We have the Honorable Judge Ramon Garcia here from Hidalgo County. Thank you so much. Your Honor, is there a Facebook page or a website where people can reach out to you, learn more about County Commissioner Court?
Yes, at the county website.
That's great, sir. Do you want to give that for them out there in listener land or anything like that?
I'm gonna. It's a main county website. Just hit Hidalgo County, and it'll give it to you.
No problem, Your Honor. I want to thank you so much for your time. We hope you have a blessed day. Appreciate your time. God be with you. You're listening to OpenWordNews.com here on 710 KURV. That was the Honorable Judge Ramon Garcia. You can call 1-800-580-8255, 1-800-580-8255, and we'll be back. And